Hello and welcome to another in the series In the Dark. Tonight I'm going to be talking about mental health. And when you read the news or watch the news and see what's going on in the world, countries invading other countries, countries attacking other countries, countries attacking their own people, the economic problems and the great social divide where it seems the right is going further right and the left is going further left, it can have an effect on your mental health. Now, fortunately, nowadays people are far more willing to discuss mental health, which is good, but I still believe that there are people who are afraid to talk about those things and there is still a stigma involved. Now, I grew up in the 1980s. I was 7 when the 80s began, and in my personal experience, but I believe it was across the board, if you were to say to a parent or a teacher, child or sibling that you felt down or you weren't happy, they would most likely say, get a grip of yourself, give yourself a shake, get over yourself, grow up, cheer up, words to that effect. And people were in no rush to discuss mental health. Now, if you were an adult and you weren't happy, you would just assume, I'm not happy with my job, I'm not happy with my spouse, my children, where I live, whatever, so they may leave to pursue happiness elsewhere. But of course, if you do that, you might never find it because you have to look inside. Now, I've carried that throughout my life, that sense, that feeling of, if something's wrong, then that's just how life is. Life isn't one long party. You will get down from time to time, and if you are down, then just accept it and cheer up and look forward to some good news coming your way, Some people are almost resigned to that being the norm. But lately, I've been thinking about it more seriously because for the past 9 months or so, I've been waking up in the middle of the night to go for a pee. And then when I go back to bed, I can't get back to sleep because that's when all the negative feelings come, and I have feelings of low self-worth, low self-esteem, sense of hopelessness, fear of the future, things like that. Now, it's not like that constantly. Through the day, my mood can improve and go out, you see people, you talk to people, and you forget these things, but it happens every night and it's no fun because then you lose sleep and it builds up and builds up and builds up. So I've been thinking more, is this something deeper, So I've been looking at mental health conditions, symptoms, and although the correct advice would be to see a professional and have them ask you questions, because you can't diagnose mental health conditions with an MRI. It has to be through a professional that would ask you questions, ask you how you feel, and then look at the symptoms of the conditions and see if they apply to you, and then take it from there. So you've got things like cyclothymic disorder, which is a milder form of bipolar, bipolar itself, and then borderline personality disorder. And unfortunately, when I looked into the symptoms of these, I saw lots of similarities with me. And the weird thing is, symptoms that I've had for many, many years. So there's a very good chance that I've been carrying a mental health disorder with me for a lot of years and not taken any steps because, like I said, I grew up in a time when you were just told, get over yourself, cheer up, that's life. I do actually have a quick story to tell you about a guy I once knew who went to the doctor and asked to be put on Prozac simply because he didn't want to go to work. He didn't like his job, but he didn't want to leave. True story. And that left me feeling very uncomfortable. So then you think about, how many people are suffering but not saying anything, and how many people are, thinking, oh, I'll use this as an excuse. Now, that was all. I just wanted to tell you that quick story. Now, unfortunately, I have no answers. This is not a video that concludes with a happy ending. But I just wanted to talk about it because, like I say, if I wanted to talk to someone about this, then I would feel a little uncomfortable, and I'm sure they would too, because it's a tough topic. And I certainly couldn't talk to people my age or older, because as I said to you, they would probably say, oh, get over yourself, cheer up, things like that. So I think it's important to look at the symptoms that you have, or to look at the symptoms of these disorders, and ask yourself seriously, am I suffering from that? And if you think you are, then see a professional and then take it from there. Now, I'm not here to give advice. I'm not a professional. I'm not a doctor. So this is just a way to end the video. But that's something that I'm considering because of the way I've been feeling lately. Now, of course, when you get to my age, I hope I'm not near the grave, but you think to yourself, well, I'm not a kid anymore, No one considers me relevant anymore in terms of, like the decision makers, what's the phrase they use? The taste makers of the world are generally in their 20s, things like that, in their 30s. Then in their 40s, you're thinking, whoa, you're getting old. And then in the 50s, it's like, oh, crikey, I'm going to be 60 soon. Well, I'm going to be 54 this year, but then it's 60. And then you're close to being a pensioner. And then, of course, you can't help but think about those things. So maybe that's been on my mind as well, and my health, with having multiple sclerosis and all that stuff. And I did say in my video about multiple sclerosis that I tried to be as positive and upbeat as possible. And lo and behold, just after doing that video, I started thinking about mental health conditions, and there could be something deeper involved. Anyway, subscribe if you enjoy whatever the hell this is, and hit a like if this video helped or you enjoyed it, and I'll be back soon with another one of these. Now, I still don't know if this is a good idea, but I'm going to persevere and keep doing them. Some kind of therapy, I suppose, at worst. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon with another video. Bye-bye.